Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I want to hit you up with a video a little bit about what I want to see in 3.18. I know that this is seems like a little bit early, but we're actually less than a month away from the normal timeline of when a new patch would come out, which means we're about a couple weeks away from an announcement of an announcement of an announcement. So I wanted to make sure to get this out before then, before any leaks or anything comes out. And when I touch on this, I also want to make sure that these are my opinions. If you disagree or you want to open up a peaceful conversation about other changes you want to see, where you agree, disagree with me, leave some in the comments below. And I actually put a lot of work into making sure that these were things I actually wanted to see in the game. So if you could go down there and click on like, subscribe, that means a ton to me. Also check out my Twitch channel, link below in the description. But as we get into 3.18, these are going to be buffs, nerfs, generic changes. It's the 5 that I want to see that I think would make the game better for everybody, not just the high end, not just low end players, not just the hardcore grinders and the casuals, everybody in general. So without further ado, let's jump into it with number 5. Tradeable harvest crafts. And I think this one is almost a guarantee to happen at some point. The infrastructure is there for this already. We saw introduced in 3.17 with the Surveyor's Compass. Next slide. Surveyor's Compass lets us grab sextant modifiers, sell them on trade site, whatever. Had to be done with the change to the Watchstones, the Void Stones, and those not being tradable, so this was the solution. I think this same feature, same kind of layout can work exactly the same for harvest crafts. And why is this important to me? And I think for more for the casual or semi-casual players is that using a third-party tool for this is annoying. It's currently the only way to trade harvest crafts other than like having friends that have harvest crafts. You'd have to go onto the like TFT Discord and find your trade. You have to trade your item. Sometimes if you don't trust the person, you have to like get people to watch, trade collateral. It's really annoying. I prefer to keep everything as possible. Granted, that tool exists for a reason because it is necessary for the game right now. But I think the framework has been set in place for that to go away, get replaced with some sort of capturable harvest craft item that you can sell in bulk, potentially, just on the PoE trade site. So capture straight from your harvest craft station to a tradable item, sell it, be done. Alright, that's pretty self-explanatory. I 100% think this will be in the game at some point. My bet would be before end of the year, before PoE 2, which could be whenever at this point, but this will be in the game, almost guarantee. Maybe not this patch, but will be in the game. Number 4, Ultimatum. Okay, so I'm not talking about bringing back the League, obviously. I'm talking about bringing back the League mechanic. So why? Why Ultimatum? All right, DGG said they rotated in sometime, right? It was one of the leagues that didn't make it into the base game, but they said they'd rotated in or get added at some point. So why not now? That's kind of where I'm at. The obvious swap for Ultimatum, because I think with the Atlas passive tree, you'd have to add another league mechanic. You'd have to basically redo the entire Atlas tree, and I don't think I want to do that. I think you just swap this with Ritual. I think there's a lot of overlap between Ultimatum and Ritual. They're both big circles, kill a bunch of mobs, stuff like that. Really, I enjoyed the Ultimatum mechanic a lot more than Ritual. Seems like the rewards were better. Seems like circles were smaller, so you went through them faster. I think this is just a hot swap from Ritual to Ultimatum. Should be pretty simple. You have to fix the Keurig map craft. We'll get to it later, but that's it. The only thing you have to do with Ultimatum is make sure it's balanced. It was really strong during its league, especially at the first. There was some exploits and stuff like that, so make sure all that's fixed. And Ultimatum can come back into the league. If this doesn't get added to the league, though, I understand. If they don't want to go back and fix this, they don't want to fix stuff that's already working fine, they don't want to add it, that's fine. It's just said that it would rotate at some time, so I assume that to be true. Let's get it in sooner than later. I think it's just a better version of Ritual. Ritual lovers can disagree with me in the comments. Alright, number 3, Archnemesis. I think this one will be mutually agreed upon. We're going to remove the Archnemesis league mechanic. This is not going to go core. My first thing on here, for all that's good, don't send this to core. I don't think anyone's even doing this mechanic anymore unless you're just farming for your challenges at the end of the league. For this to go base would require a total overhaul of the UI, total overhaul of the inventory system, some sort of buffs and improvements, because the drops don't even seem to be that good anymore. It's weird because the Scarab drop for this should have been really good. The Scarab should have been so good, but then they added Scarabs to the Eater of Worlds Atlas altars, and that just made even the Scarab drops from this not good. So it needs buffs, improvements. like probably too much work for this to ever go base. I would rather they focus the time on the new league, PoE 2, whatever, fixing bugs, adding new skills, anything other than fixing Archnemesis League. It just wasn't that fun of a mechanic either. It's like, it was like a weird metamorph ritual hybrid. We just don't need it. They said straight up in the league that this was kind of like a throw-in. The big thing for this league was getting the new Atlas tree, the new Atlas, all that taken care of, new bosses. So, last thing I'll say about Archnemesis, we should be in spot for a good league this league. We're on like kind of that every other league where they put a lot of work into the league mechanic. The last one was more about the base game. This one should be about the league mechanic. Hopefully this one's awesome. I think something cool. But here we go. Archnemesis, get it out here. Also, to add Archnemesis, one last thing I'll mention. They would have to fix the entire Atlas passive tree, right? They'd have to add some nodes for it, which aren't currently there. So we're going to have a problem with that going forward, I think. Just in general. Stuff like this. 2, new skills. New skills should be an obvious one. We haven't gotten new skills in a while. Well, since 3.16, but I'll get into that in a second. So I want new skills or, big or, I would like to see a buff to underused skills. I don't want to see any nerfs. Maybe make a few things that are actually broken, but like I'd rather see a lot of nerfs to underused skills, specifically melee skills. Melee in general needs a buff. So new skills are fun. Buffs are essentially new skills at this point too, because if they're used by less than 0.1% of the population, are they even really need to be there? So this will shake up the meta. This helps get old players back into the game, helps get new players, and it helps with retention because there's new stuff to try out. So this is all a good thing. Retention was a huge problem last week because there wasn't anything new after you beat the bosses. Explored the Atlas tree a bit and you were kind of done. We haven't had a new highly used skill in a while. What I mean by that is, if we look at down here, I have the patch notes for 3.16. There were no new skills in 3.17 that I can remember. 3.16 had the patch notes. None of these are really used to any great extent. Poisonous Concoction probably the most. Tornado is used a little bit on the Omni Shot build with Athena's Chant, but like none of these are really used a lot. I get like the Link builds are like Orobot stuff, but we need some new actual abilities that are used. I think we have to go back to like when Absolution was added in that set, or like when skills were actually good. Yeah, and then my last comment is new skills help with player attention. That is just my opinion, not stats based. We didn't look into it that deep, but I would have to believe that just adding new skills helps player attention, gives more people time to test new things, try out stuff. So new skills, always good, would recommend. All right, number one thing I want to get changed, Crystallised Omniscience. So before you go in the comment section and tell me I'm an idiot, let me explain, and then you can do so at your pleasure. And I will gladly ignore them. But I'm going to rarely call for a nerf ever in this game. I'd rather see buffs to balance things out instead of nerfing things. This deserves a nerf, I think. So check out the disclaimer on the first slide. It was really small if you disagree. But also leave your comment down below. I think we can all agree that this is a little too strong. It doesn't enable any builds, right? No builds like went from not being playable at all or not even being a build to being a build. It just made already good builds better and made some fringe viable builds playable. Like everything got moved up a notch, just moved the scale for like elemental builds. So that's one thing I didn't like, that this new unique item didn't make any builds super good. Well, it made them super good, but it didn't make new builds. And then it trivialized gearing for any elemental build, right? Which is good for beginners. I'll give that. Like, just, okay, I get this item and I slap on a bunch of stats and call it a day. I got my ally pen, got my ally resistance, I'm good to go. It was really bad for the trade ecosystem though. Especially essences for stats got like way skewed. Items that had like double T1 stats got way skewed higher. It became really bad for a portion there when like people realized Omniscience was really good and they should start using it. Which is really screwed up the economy for a bit. And that'll happen again, because while you're leveling and while you're getting to your endgame gear, this is the best way to go for any elemental build. My opinion. If you disagree, again, let me know. But that's my thoughts. I don't know how to fix this, though. I think you have to do something. You need more Omniscience or something like that. That's my only problem. If you have an idea of how to fix this without completely gutting it, leave a comment down below. I'm really interested to hear some ideas. I just don't know how you fix this without completely gutting the item right now. So. my thoughts, and I have a tier 0 list, because this gets added every league. I just want to touch on a few of them. It's general quality of life improvements. Atlas passive changes. I think some are too good, some are too strong, some are too spread apart. I'm sure there's stats behind this. I haven't looked into it. I know there's been community projects about figuring out which ones are the best. That should tell us a lot of which ones can be changed, removed, added, just moved around the map. Tweaks to skill gems. I want to see some buffs to skill gems, get some more damage is cool. Whatever they need to do to get some more skills viable. New key arc map options. I wanted to mention Ritual being 13 COP, so it's insane. Nobody's running that, right? I don't think so. So fix that. Beyond, beginning to think is a problem just because of basically the end tier farming. Is just get a headhunter, slap Beyond on every map. Seems like not the way you want to go with the game, but we like that. So just stuff like that, etc. Nothing specific, just the usual. We get each patch, a little bit here, a little bit there. And that is what I want to see for 3.18. Just get those things in the game. I'll be pretty happy. And get us a good league mechanic. So if you like this video, remember to click like, comment, subscribe down below. And check out my Twitch, link in the description. I'll be streaming not so much probably until new league info gets going, but once that happens, I'll probably be streaming every day. So make sure to check that out as well. And if you have any comments, leave them down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.